Hey there piglets, it's me, Brody, otherwise known as Porcine Assembly Line. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Pig Review Show. If you haven't caught it before, this is how it works. I play 3 tracks from the submissions I've received in the last week, in no particular order. I give a little bit of feedback after each track, the things that I liked, the things I didn't like, anything at all that sent me into a homicidal rage. And then at the end of that, I pick one of them to be the week's Golden Pig winner. So if you win a Golden Pig, it has no value. You can't exchange it for cash or favours or anything. It's really just a meaningless gimmick, if you will. So I've had a fair few good submissions this week. I would warn you in advance, if you don't like heavier music, you're probably not going to enjoy this week. It's all rock and doom and whatnot. 2 rockier tracks, one that's sort of a doom metal sludge type thing. But some really good stuff and spread all around the world. There's one from the US, one from Wales, and one from here in Australia. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, on to our first track for today, which comes from a band here in Australia known as Acidlord. It's off their album Communion, and the track is simply titled 1 in Roman numerals, so I. Acidlord are from Melbourne, I believe, or possibly here in Bendigo, but most likely Melbourne by the look of their Bandcamp page. You can find the link to purchase the full album below in the description. They've got a sludge/doom metal type sound, very much instrumental in nature. And if you're not familiar with that genre, it's that slower, dronier, repetitive type metal music. It seems to be most people love it or hate it, that type of sound. If you do like it, Acidlord is a very good example, and as I said, you can find more by following the link in the description. Let's take a listen now, and I'll tell you what I thought afterwards. Okay, so that was one from the album Communion by Acidlord. What to say about that? The good side of things, as I've said, it's a very good example of the sludge/doom sound. It's got that lovely fatness to it. It's got the fuzzy, heavily distorted, possibly even gain stage guitars. It's got a sort of a grinding, deep, again a little bit fuzzy bass, and just the way that the drums sort of very much pound away in that slow, repetitive fashion. It just works. It works, clicks together. What I would say on the negative side, it's not necessarily even a negative, because I enjoy a long form listen, and a lot of other people do as well. But in this day and age, you never know who does and who doesn't. I've noticed with a lot of the tracks on the Acidlord album, Communion, they work their best when they're heard, in sequence, together in the correct order. That's the best way to check out Acidlord, and I suggest you do so if you enjoyed that track. But when they stand alone, when you listen to them on their own, like we just have, you lose something. You lose the return of cool musical ideas that come back 2 or 3 tracks later, and just reinsert themselves back into the mix. It's a bit like listening to a symphony, I suppose. You really want to listen to the whole thing. If you listen to one part, one movement, you're missing something. And I feel like some people in this day and age just aren't going to do it. They'll listen to one track and they might be like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but they might not go through and listen to the whole thing. And really, I can't stress this enough. If you enjoyed that track, go to the Bandcamp link in the description and check out the whole album Communion by Acidlord, because it's really cool. And if you listen to it start to finish, you're going to get surprised with some really cool shit. So on to the next one. Alright piglets, you may have noticed the change of clothes. I've filmed this show over 2 consecutive days rather than in one sitting like I normally do. Time constraints, So the next track we're going to listen to comes from a band called Silk9. They're from Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania in the United States. They're sort of a melodic hard rock type thing. The track is a single called, bear with me a moment, I Won't Carry You. And I had a bit of a chat with the guys from Silk9. They've got another single release coming out in July this year, and the title of that track will be Find My Way. They've also got some gigs coming up across Pennsylvania. So if you're in the States, and in that part of the States, it's a big country, go and check out Silk9. So I'll give you a bit of feedback on this track after we listen to it, but without any further bullshit from me, here is I Won't Carry You by Silk9.
What did I see? I don't need you. I listen to voices that scream in
A lot of power behind that one. Really good intensity to it. Yeah, so that was, what is it again? I keep forgetting the title of this one. I'm really sorry, guys. I Won't Carry You by Silk9. So the good stuff about that track, the songcraft is amazing. It's really, really well put together. Really like that sort of, that cool transition into the bridge, sort of round about the middle of that. Really worked well. The tones are solid, the mix is solid, that guitar riff that opens and then repeats in the choruses is just sweet. It's really kind of got that intense hard rock vibe to it. So overall, fantastic, and the vocals were really, really strong as well. The negative, like usual for a lot of the songs that make it through onto the show itself, is more of a personal taste thing. It's a little bit more conventional in its sound than what I normally enjoy, but I do think that just the overall tightness of the way this was put together just compensates very well for, you know, it being a little bit conventional and a little bit typical in its sound. So yeah, big thumbs up to Silk9 on that track. I can't wait to hear the next one when it comes out. Alright, our final track for this week on the Golden Pigs is a track from a group called Revolution Rabbit Deluxe, which is an excellent band name. Really like that. They are from Wales. Well, according to their Twitter profile, they're from Cardiff. They describe their sound as a power pop, Brit rock, alt indie sort of sound. And I think I would agree with that. It's an interesting track, the one they've sent me. It's called Tarred and Feathered. So I'm really keen to hear what you guys think, if you want to drop a comment on the video. But I'll tell you what I think after we listen to the track. So here it is, Tarred and Feathered by Revolution Rabbit Deluxe.
They don't like him, can't split the person from the lies. They pigeonhole him, he takes on jobs, he takes on homes. Such is blindness, always right and you're always wrong. Rule Britannia, xenophobic motives glorified. Easy targets, we spoke freedom and deprived them of their own. We grew rich on their decay. Is our hatred ever spent? How easy it is to forget, how easy it is to ignore when you're judging jury to approval or disapproving. Pity the British among the nations. Our best qualities are arrogance and pride. A thousand cultures crushed beneath our one-world jackboots. We taught the savages to civilize or die. Nothing changes. Our missionaries, they should have stayed at home. Love our enemies from afar, so how can we forget our neighborhood? Who's concerned? A Chilton six and under fire in no man's land. Born the wrong place at the wrong time. Pray to God this madness ends. How easy it is to forget. How easy it is to ignore when you're judge and jury to approval or disapproving. Pity the British among the nations. Our best qualities are arrogance and pride. A thousand cultures crushed beneath our one-world jackboots. We taught the savages to civilize or die.
Okay, so that was Tarred and Feathered by Revolution Rabbit Deluxe. The good. It's pretty fucking weird, really, isn't it? It's like, it's quite jarring and different in its sound. That combination of like heavily distorted, noisy, punchy chord work on the guitars with those sort of soft, gentle, airy vocals. It's just very jarring and very weird. That's solid. I think it's a good track. It's a good length. The instruments are all very solid and the vocals are well delivered. On the negative side of things, I felt personally that the vocals did get a little bit samey. You know, it's that same style, that same delivery, almost in a fairly steady and almost flat way, and it just didn't quite do it for me personally. I know that some people really, really love that, and it, just lets them sink into the song and really enjoy it. But if, like me, you say, like a big Mike Patton fan, and you like vocals that sort of go up and down and all over the place and do lots of weird and interesting shit, based on this track, possibly not the group for you, but still a really, really solid track, guys. Really enjoyed it. I just felt that, the vocals were maybe a bit too steady for my taste, but I still really applaud what you're doing, and I'm really keen to hear more. So, thumbs up, Revolution Rabbit Deluxe, and a double thumbs up on your awesome fucking name. Yeah, good stuff there. Alright, piglets, so on to the most important and pointless part of the Golden Pig Review Show, the awarding of the Golden Pig. Now, it was, I took my time on the decision for this one. I had all the tracks in well ahead of when I needed to film it, so I got to listen to them a fair few times and deliberate and do some pro and con lists in my head and all that sort of thing. In the end, I have decided that the winner of the Golden Pig this week will be Silk9 with their track I Won't Carry You. I just felt that it was the best put together. It stands best on its own, you know. It's a really solid song, really solid performances, and I just think they just got me the most with what they did. So Silk9 have won a Golden Pig with I Won't Carry You. Tell your friends that Silk9 have a Golden Pig. Alright guys, if you want your music to be featured in a Golden Pig review show, send it through to the email address that's contained in the description. You'll also find in the description links to music from all of the people who have been featured in this week's show. There may or may not be a show next week. I've got enough music to do it. I'm just not sure whether I'll have the time. I'm going to be in Germany for some business related to my day job. And if I get the time, in between the various appointments I've got while I'm over there, I will film a show. It will be a slightly lower quality because I just cannot take my camera equipment with me. I'll have to do it with the webcam on my MacBook. But still send me your music. I've got a couple of good submissions already that I'm really keen on, so it's going to be tight. If you've got something that's either A, really well put together, or B, really fucking weird, send it through to me and I will take a listen. You can also send stuff to me via Facebook message, Twitter DM, etc., and I'll still be able to check it out. But in the end, I do need something that I can embed, audio, video, etc., in the episode, and you can see why once you've watched one. Thanks, piglets. Send me your shit. I'll catch you next week, hopefully.